Hello comrades, this is Chetty here and welcome back to a brand new video. As you can tell by the title, in today's video I am going to be taking a look at the new Peacock original They Slash Them. So without further ado, let's get right into it. So this movie is interesting because it's gotten a lot of attention. Granted, none of it's been very good, but it's attention nonetheless. And I'll be completely honest, I was interested in watching this movie. It looked entertaining enough. So I decided to check it out, and you know what, I may get some hate for this, but I'm actually leaning towards liking this film. But I think the best part of this movie is easily the cast. Obviously, Kevin Bacon is the main draw of this film, and he's actually, great in it. I mean, he's an awesome antagonist in basically any movie you see him in, and he does a really solid job in this one as well. He's kind of likable at first, and it puts you in a weird space because you know what his character is all about and his beliefs and his thoughts on certain things. But as the film goes along, you get to see more of his true colors, and I thought Kevin Bacon just did a fantastic job with that character. But I think the main group of teens that we follow in this film are also really solid. All the actors did a really good job, and I think the film also does a good job of just establishing who these teens are as people and their characters and really what they're about and the reason why they're at this camp and their motivations and stuff like that. That's all handled really well. There is a main group of 5 that we follow throughout the movie. There's probably about 15 kids there, but the other 10 are really just useless. They don't even have any dialogue. When they show up, you have no idea who any of them are. So you know what? I get what they were going for, because obviously they don't want the film to be overstuffed with all these characters, so they kind of have a select group that we follow. But at the same time, it would have been nice to see, what these people think of everything that's going on. But instead, they're kind of just there, and they show up for certain scenes, disappear for a lot of the movie. The best way I can describe They Slash Them is Friday the 13th meets Get Out. So it's basically the psychological aspect of Get Out meets the slasher aspect of Friday the 13th. We do have a mass killer in this movie, and I think the look of the killer is actually pretty cool. I like the big jacket over top, the hood, the mask, but I do think that part of the story is definitely just the weakest part of the movie in general. For one, if you take that out of the film, literally nothing would change. The plot would be the exact same. In fact, it would be a better movie in my opinion. There is a twist in the film about the mass killer, and I'll admit it was pretty clever and it caught me off guard and I wasn't necessarily expecting it. But at the same time, it just felt so shoehorned in. I feel like the reason why they included that was because this is a camp movie and they wanted to have the traditional camp slasher. But at the same time, if they had just focused on the psychological horror aspect, because this is a conversion camp, it would be interesting to see the tactics that they are employing to actually convert these kids. And they do show that in the movie, and it's probably the best scene of the entire movie. It's thrilling, it's gripping, it's really suspenseful, and yeah, that's the best part of the film, and that should have been the entire movie. But instead, there's just sequences in here of some mass killer walking around and killing people, and it just doesn't flow naturally in the film, and ultimately it leaves this movie feeling like a big mess. If you are going to include the slasher stuff and have this be a slasher film, have it be a good slasher film. Every single time the killer shows up and kills someone, we don't see any of the gore. We see blood splatter on a wall, and that's it. Okay, I get the idea of letting the viewer fill in what's really happening with their imaginations, because if that's done well, it can be even more effective than showing the actual gore. But it wasn't done well. So I was kind of just left wanting to see more. That's really my biggest complaint with this movie, is I wanted more from it. This could have been great, but it's just fine. It's entertaining. I don't think it's the worst thing in the world. I think people are overreacting with this. It's entertaining enough. And if you have seen They Slash Them, definitely make sure to let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. And also, if you haven't done so already, make sure to drop a like and subscribe. It is greatly appreciated. Anyways, I'll be back very soon with some brand new content. This is Shai signing off. Peace out.